Shalom, Facebook friends. This is Jonathan Bernis calling in from Brazil with another Hanukkah devotional for our fourth and fifth day of Hanukkah. I was sharing in past devotionals that Hanukkah is the celebration of the great miracle that took place between 167 and 163 BC. I'm talking about almost 200 years before the birth of the Messiah, where God delivered the Jewish people from the hands of the Syrians under the dictatorial rule of Antiochus Epiphanes IV. And through the leadership of a man named Judah, actually his nickname was Judah the Hammer, this ragtag guerrilla fighting army, perhaps the first recorded guerrilla warfare in history, defeated under Judah Maccabee. This group called the Maccabees defeated the Syrian armies that vastly outnumbered them, and we celebrate this feast for 8 days because of the miracle of the oil that burned in the temple. I shared in an earlier devotion that there was a vial of oil found in the temple, in the crevices of the rocks, that was enough for 1 day, but it lasted for 8 days miraculously, which allowed them to prepare new oil. That preparation process took 8 days, and the oil burned for 8 days, and so we celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days. We celebrate Hanukkah by lighting a menorah known as a Hanukkah. It's a special 9-branched candelabra as opposed to the 7-branched candelabra that represents the lampstand in the temple. This is especially for Hanukkah, 8 candles, and then the 9th, which is called the shamash, or the servant candle, which lights the other 8. Of course, there's a lot of symbolism in there that I'll talk about in a devotional tomorrow. But the Hanukkah festival is not mentioned in the Old Testament because it took place during this intertestamental period between the completion of the Old Testament and the writing of the New Testament, but it is mentioned in the New Testament. We're told in John chapter 10, verse 22, that it was specifically at the Feast of Dedication, which is Hanukkah, that Jesus was in the temple and he was confronted as he was walking in Solomon's colonnade by the priests, by the Pharisees, and asked, "How long will you keep us in suspense? If you are the Messiah, tell us plainly." And there's a cute story that may be applicable to this confrontation in Solomon's colonnade. According to tradition, when they rededicated the temple almost 200 years earlier, they didn't know what to do with these stones that had been desecrated by Antiochus Epiphanes with the blood of a pig, and at the same time were holy. So what do we do with these stones that are both holy and profaned at the same time? And the decision was not to decide. They would pile these stones up in the outer court and wait for the Messiah to tell them what to do with these stones because no one could decide. And so it's very possible that it was this pile of stones in Solomon's colonnade that was the setting for this confrontation. In other words, Jesus was standing next to these stones gathered, waiting for the Messiah to tell them what to do, and it's at this point that he's confronted by the Pharisees and demanded, "Tell us, are you the Messiah? Tell us already." In other words, we need to know what to do with these stones that have been defiled yet are still holy, dating back to Hanukkah. So that may very well be the context, the backdrop for this confrontation during the Feast of Dedication, dating back to 165 BC. What do we do with these stones? Only the Messiah can answer that question. And so we demand that to know, are you the Messiah? We want to know what to do with this rock heap. More devotionals coming up in the days ahead. I want to take this opportunity to wish all of you, our Jewish Voice partners and Facebook friends, a very, very blessed holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and of course a very happy, happy Hanukkah. Shalom and God bless you. Talk to you in a couple of days.